to Hudson Raider football on the River Channel. It's homecoming tonight. We're at Newton Field before a packed house, and I arrived at the stadium today about 6 o'clock, and there was nowhere to park. I mean, just packed in here. The fans are here. Everybody's excited about Raider football, but it's kind of been a tough go on the road here. We're coming off a loss at Rice Lake. The Raiders put 54 points on the board and lost the football game.
You know, I never would have thought that you could have ever put up 54 points on anybody and lost the game, but Hudson managed to do that somehow. I mean, it's really been, you know, this season's been a dichotomy. It's been, you know, the offense has played outstanding. No one's been able to stop Hudson. Problem is, Hudson hasn't been able to stop anybody either.
Yeah, both teams last week scored on 8 straight drives. Rice Lake did, and the Hudson Raiders did, but the Raiders had a couple of field goals mixed in there. Rice Lake, touchdowns all the way across the board. Just kind of a crazy game, that Rice Lake Hudson game. Tonight, we've got another team that could give the Raiders some fits. They're a pass-happy offense led by Ben Everhart, who has played quarterback. This is his 3rd year of playing quarterback. Started as a sophomore. Now it's his senior year, and this team is 4-1 coming into tonight's game.
This team's a lot like Superior, you know, relying on the pass. They've got, like you said, a 3-year starter quarterback. This is basically, from a skill position-wise, this is the same team we played last year. And they gave Hudson some problems. And that defense last year was a lot better than this year's defense.
So we could see a lot more points tonight. Interesting to point out, both of the Raiders' conference losses, both of their losses this season, have come when Joel Eby was not in the building. Raiders 3-0 with Joel Eby here, 0-2 without him. You're here tonight.
Yeah, I feel a little responsible for those losses, but, you know, I don't know. You know, there is a definite advantage to playing at home. You know, Newton Field is a relic amongst high school fields nowadays with the trend going to field turf, and, you know, Hudson obviously being a natural turf field. You know, I think there's something to be said for that, but Hudson was just, I mean, you know, I don't want to point fingers, but they deserve to lose those games.
Yeah, it's a tough season this year on defense for the Raiders, and they're certainly going to get tested tonight. It's homecoming, and the thing that you're always worried about during homecoming, there's so many things going on. You got the parade, you got the coronation, you got dances, and all these different things going on. How does the coach keep these guys focused on tonight's game?
Well, and that's a hard thing, and they've spread out all the events throughout the week, where in years past, you know, they've been all on Friday. They've had everything, you know, basically on Friday and Saturday. You know, now in the last couple years, they've spread things out. With the Powder Puff game was on Monday. They had the homecoming parade on Wednesday, and it just, I think, you know, that even makes it harder because there's so much stuff throughout the whole week. And Hudson, you know, also has got a couple of injuries they're going to have to deal with. They got one of their starting offensive linemen is down, and also one of the linebackers. So it's going to be a tough road to hoe for Hudson tonight.
Yeah, Xander Motu, a guy that we've called his name, seems like all season long, injured and won't be with the Raiders tonight on the field.
Yeah, and John Wilgren, number 75, could argue their best offensive lineman, is also not going to be starting tonight. So it'll be interesting to see what Hudson come up with, especially on defense.
Raiders going to start the night tonight on defense, and we'll get to see how that defense looks against the offense of Eau Claire Memorial. They like to throw the ball around. Again, they've got a very experienced quarterback, and Coach Paul Kling has just always been known as a guy that they'll run it, but they've got that tough, short passing game that really, even when the Raiders have had really good defenses, have kind of struggled with this football team in Eau Claire Memorial.
And I think one thing, too, is the Big Rivers Conference in general is a better conference than it was 5 years ago. You know, some of these programs that were kind of doormat conferences 2, 3, 4 years ago are now, you know, they're winning their share of games, both in and out of the conference.
Christian Bell set to kick off with the wind at his back. He nailed a 42-yard field goal last week at Rice Lake and will boom this kickoff. Going to go into the end zone, and that will be a touchback for the Raiders. So the Raider defense will start this series with plenty of yardage behind them. Start at the 20 here.
Yeah, that's what Hudson, I think, is going to be a key for Hudson's, you know, defenses. For this defense to have success, they're going to have to make sure that Memorial has a long field and they can't give up the big plays. And they've been prone to do that this season.
So Memorial will come onto the field with senior quarterback Ben Everhart, 6'2", 205, and he'll start from the shotgun. 2 receivers wide on either side, and they will run it up the middle with Aaron Fox, and Fox is kind of their workhorse running back. And Fox is going to pick up about 5 yards on first down. The Raiders have done fairly well this season on defense on first and second down. It's been the third downs that have really hurt them so far this year.
And like I said earlier, this is the same basically skill package that we saw last year with Everhart, Fox, and the 2 wide receivers, Tyson, Humes, and Quigley.
They'll give it to Fox again, and he will fall forward for a first down. Gain of around 6 or 7 yards. Well, they'll give him 9. And that will be first down for Eau Claire Memorial. Sean Fox, another guy that we've called that name quite a bit. Actually, I think it was Aaron Fox last year. This must be his brother or cousin, or is it Sean Fox? 3 receivers to the right this time. 1 to the near side. They'll bring a man in motion. Fake the handoff to Fox. Everhart delivers the football. Is going to be incomplete. Looking for Jake Ness. That will bring up second down and long for the Abes.
Hudson was able to get some pressure on the quarterback there, but the receiver was open. He just threw it behind him. That's one thing about Hudson's defensive scheme. They really only have 3 defensive backs. They've got a safety, and they've got two cornerbacks, and there's a lot of pressure on the linebackers to, cover in pass protection.
Everhart with Fox to his left, and they will hand it off once again. This time Jack Koski and company able to pull down Sean Fox after a gain of around 3. Holden Tim also in there for the Raiders. Old Abe's lost their first game of the season at home against La Crosse Logan. Since then, they've torn off 4 straight victories on the road at La Crosse Central, home against Chippewa Falls, at River Falls, and last week they defeated their inner-city rival, Eau Claire North, 32-15. Everhart looking to throw it out into the flat to Ness. Ness, plenty of yardage. He's across midfield to the 50-yard line, and Ness just kind of snuck over, found a spot, and there was nobody around him.
And it looks like Trainers comes up limping, so Trainers have to come off, and is their best defensive back is coming off the field. So, again, that's one of those passes where there has to be a linebacker over there to cover that.
So first and 10, as Everhart will go under center for the first time this evening. Will fake the handoff, throws it out in the flats once again. Raiders do a nice job of covering up, but it's still a gain of around 6 or 7 to Ness. Give him a gain of 7. Will set up second down and 3.
That's again, Hudson brings pressure with that outside linebacker on the near side. That leaves that flat area wide open for the running back, and it's just, if Everhart can keep making those passes, it's going to be a long night for the Raider defense.
Everhart will go back to the shotgun on this play. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers to the far side of the field to give it to Fox. And Fox should be going to be real close to first down yardage. I believe he has it. And he does. That will move the chains once again for the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abes.
The Old Abe offense, again, moving the ball at will against Hudson. And this has kind of been a repeating theme throughout the season so far.
Memorial will go back to 4 wides. Ness comes out of the game. Everhart steps up and runs. He's got the first down, still on his feet, and going to be knocked out of the bounds, but Eau Claire Memorial will move the chains once again. Wes Coram tackles him, but not until he gets down to around the 20-yard line. Mark it at the 22.
And now you're down in that 4-down territory, so makes it a little tougher.
Everhart sends a man in motion. He'll fake the handoff, and it's going to be incomplete. Again, a little bit of pressure on the quarterback, rushes the throw. The Raiders may have to send pressure all night because if they let him pass back there, he's going to have plenty of time, and it seems like these receivers are finding a way to get themselves open.
Well, and that's one thing I've noticed this year as opposed to the last few years. Is, in years past, with Hudson only having 3 down defensive linemen, in years past they've been able to get pressure with those 3 down linemen. This year they haven't been able to get that kind of pressure. Although the defensive line has played well against the run, they just haven't been able to get that quick pressure on the quarterback.
2nd and 10. Go empty backfield.
Oh,
high
that
snap.
been.
Everhart pulls it down and is going to throw it incomplete.
That was a well-designed screen play there. Just high snap and then a high throw.
That high snap, the timing was just a little bit off. I think pressure got there a little sooner than what Everhart would have liked to have seen.
So 3rd and 10. They're going to stop him twice here.
7:55 left in the first quarter. We're scoreless. First drive of the night. Eau Claire Memorial with a nice long march. They're 60 yards into it here. 3rd and 10. Snap over the head of Everhart. Ball's loose.
Yes!
Raiders have it.
Hudson has it.
Wes Corum dives on the football.
Diving over the quarterback to fall on the loose ball. Well,
Corum would have loved to have picked that football up, but I think at this point they'll just take the turnover.
Yeah, they'll take that. And they'll take great field position.
So the Raider offense will come onto the field at the 45-yard line. It's been a high-powered offense. Good mixed game, a lot of running, a lot of passing. They do it all pretty well, but that play there, blown up before it could even get started. John Ucatil pulled down as the Raiders tried to get something going with the option. It'd be a loss of around 5 yards, 6 yards.
Boy, that was not the best spot Hudson could have gotten. Like contact was made outside the 40, and they ended up marking it back inside the 40. But well-designed blitz.
2nd and 16 now. Ucatil set to throw. Ucatil under pressure once again, slips out of it and will go down again. And
boy, this offensive line has got to block better than that. I don't care if they are blitzing. You got to get some protection there and give them some time.
2 plays, and John Ucatil's been under attack on both of them. The Raiders went from sitting pretty at the 45-yard line to all the way back to the 35, 3rd down and 20.
And, look at the middle linebacker. They blitzed him every single time. Here comes again with the blitz. There's just – Hudson's going to have to come up with an answer for that blitz.
Tried to run it up the middle with Dayton Diemel, and there was nothing there.
That's a 1st down call, not a 3rd and 20.
So it looked like a spot where the Raiders could get some momentum, and that thing just blew up on them. 4th and 20, Christian Bell on to punt. Clock down to 6 minutes left in the first quarter. And Christian Bell.
Oh, my God.
Just shanked that one. And it took an Eau Claire Memorial bounce as well. And I mean, he barely got it over the line of scrimmage.
I think they gained yards on that.
Christian Bell has been a bright spot for the Raiders this year, but that was a disaster. So Eau Claire Memorial will start this drive at the Raider 35-yard line.
Well, and everything that could go wrong for the Raiders has gone wrong so far.
Everhart throws it over to the near side. Going to be a gain of around 7 yards. Got it out to Colin Webster, and he'll set up a second and short. Everhart will once again go from the shotgun. And I believe he's got his man. He does. That'll be a first down for Eau Claire Memorial. You know, we talked a little bit earlier. You want to keep these guys focused. It's a homecoming game. And that offensive series looked like a series of guys that just maybe weren't quite ready to go onto the field.
Well, if you know your attention wasn't focused before, it better be now, because you're getting punched in the mouth.
Everhart with Fox next to him in the shotgun. He'll throw it to the far side of the field. Little wide receiver
There's
screen.
a flag. That's a hold.
And Raiders
That's a hold. That's going to come back.
Will push Malin Jones out, and that, as Joel alluded to, this one's going to come back.
It should be marked off from the previous spot, so that should make it 1st and 20. But, you know, again, I think what these teams have learned how to do in this passing game is just, you know, not go for the home run. They're not trying to get the big pass. They're just trying to get, you know, 4 or 5 yards, and then maybe get a little yardage after the catch. Now, I see they must have marked that off from the spot of the foul, because they did not mark that off.
They did. 1st and 16 coming up.
Boy, the hold happened ahead of the play. I don't know how you could mark it from that spot.
Everhart set to throw. Under
Fumble!
pressure. Knocked down by
Yes!
Holden Tim.
Yes!
Wes
Wes
Corum
Corum!
picks it up. Wes won't
He's
make the
gonna
mistake
go!
this time, taking it all the way to the end
Touchdown!
zone. Touchdown, Raiders. I don't think Wes Corum was going to lay down on that one.
That was a very fortunate turn of events. Perfect bounce, perfect roll for Corum to reach down and pick that up.
Holden Tim put a shot on Everhart. Never saw him coming. Ball comes loose right into the hands of Wes Corum, and Corum takes it all the way to the end zone. And the Hudson Raiders, after looking like maybe disaster was about to strike, bounce back, and they're the first ones on the scoreboard tonight, 6-0 Hudson.
I guess in the category of big plays, you have to give the first big play to Hudson.
Absolutely. Ucatil gets it down, but it's blocked. And the Raiders had a few struggles last week in the kicking game. I mentioned earlier they hit a 42-yarder, but missed an extra point, and then had an opportunity at the end of the game, 35-yard field goal to win it. And again, 35-yard field goal in high school is no easy feat. You can't blame the kid for getting that block. But
well, yeah, and I don't.
the kicking game hasn't been as smooth as what we saw maybe the first couple games of the year.
Yeah, I think maybe it's, you know, the kicking game is more a mental game, I think, than any other part of the game. Once you get that, you know, doubt in your mind, it's hard to get it out of there. I think Christian Bell just needs to stick with it, you know, get a couple opportunities, and, you know, start making some stuff, you know, making some kicks. You know, nail a good punt. He nailed that kickoff. That was great. Maybe he can nail another one here, kick it off into the end zone and get another touchback and make him start at the 20 again. That's all we can do.
5:07 left in the first quarter. Hudson Raiders lead it 6-0 over Eau Claire Memorial in the homecoming game tonight here at Newton Field.
Can we milk out 3 quarters in 5 minutes?
Wind at the back of Christian Bell as he kicks away. Line drive kick, and again it will bounce into the end zone, and the Raider defense will come onto the field with very good field position once again.
And again, that was a low line drive kick, and I think that extra point was really kicked low. I don't know if it was such a great job of blocking as it was just a low kick, and it's when they're trying to ask him to kick those long field goals, maybe it's adjusted his plant or his motion a little bit, and he's just not getting the height on it that he needs.
Memorial will spread it out once again. 2 receivers wide to both sides, and they'll run it up the middle with Fox. Fox finds a hole and will take it out across the 40-yard line. Another first down for Eau Claire Memorial. Other than the 2 turnovers by Eau Claire Memorial, their offense has looked incredible tonight.
Yeah, their offense. Hudson has not been able to stop anybody. The Eau Claire stopped themselves, and they spotted Hudson 6 points.
High snap. Everhart gets it down, gives it to Fox. And Fox will pick up about 4 yards there in first down. 2nd and 6 coming up.
They've got Jensen out of the lineup right now.
And Fox will bring it ahead again. Going to be just shy of the first down marker. We'll bring them up about a 3rd and 2. Eau Claire Memorial tonight can clinch a playoff berth with a victory.
Now Jensen comes back in. Memorial able to run the ball up the middle on both plays with Jensen out. See if Jensen can stop up that middle a little better here.
Fox is going to pull it down, take it himself. He's got the first down. He's across the 50-yard line down to around the 47, 48-yard line. Ryan Ryder makes the tackle for the Raiders, but not until Memorial moves the chains. 3:30 left in the first quarter. Memorial's really dominated this football game from a yardage standpoint, but the Hudson Raiders lead it 6-0 off of the turnover on the last drive. And they will give it to Fox once again. Fox still on his feet, slipping through tackles, and he's down to around the 32-yard line. That will set up another first down for Eau Claire Memorial.
Well, can we get another turnover?
Might need one here pretty soon. You got a weird wind tonight, too. Wind's kind of blowing east to west, and we got dark skies to the east of us as well. I hope we don't get rain, but it's looking like we may. Another high snap. Everhart pulls it down, and he should have the first down. About a 12-yard gain there. And that will move the chains once again for Memorial.
And just notice just the Hudson defensive backs are just so small. It is. I just find it hard to believe that a school this size can't come up with defensive backs that are, 6 foot, 6'2", that weigh 200 pounds.
Memorial will spread it out once again. They'll give it to Fox.
Fumble!
Ball on the loose, but Fox falls on it, and he'll pick up about 3 yards as well. 2nd down and around 7 coming up, and again, this is 4-down territory for Eau Claire Memorial.
Let's see if defense can show a little backbone here. Been in this situation a couple times before and managed to come up with turnovers.
2nd and 7.
There's another high
snap. Everhart pulls it down, but he's in trouble. Gets out of it, and now he will go down at around the 26-yard line. 3rd down and 17 coming up after Jack Koski and Lucas Trainer pull down Ben Everhart.
Well, the Memorial Center has been the best defensive player for Hudson so far.
Certainly. And that's one of those things, you go out there in the shotgun every play, you better have a center to get that football back there, or you're going to put yourself in a situation like what Memorial finds themselves in right now.
Well, it is 3rd down, so they've got to have 2 downs to get 16 yards.
Eau Claire Memorial calls a timeout here to talk it over. 1:26 left in the first quarter. Hudson Raiders lead it 6-0, coming off of a barn burner of a loss last week up in Rice Lake. Raiders fell 56-54 to Rice Lake, and it was just an incredible football game. If you're a football fan that likes to watch scoring, you couldn't ask for a better game than that one. Third and 17.
You know, Hudson, the key for Hudson here has to be just a sure tackling. You know, if they allow him to catch that short little dink pass, but then make the sure tackle.
Memorial goes 4 wides again. Everhart throws it right over the top on the screen.
Missed one tackle.
Lucas Trainer pulls him down short of the first down. We're going to have a 4th down situation coming up. Looks to be about a 4th and 7 coming up here for Eau Claire Memorial. Call it 4th and 8.
That was a gain of about 9.
Nice play call by Paul Kling. Just kind of threw it right over the top of the defense.
Well, and that was the same play they ran earlier, and the pass was overthrown because of the high snap. Good snap, good throw. Ends up being got half the distance they needed.
Well, 4th down and 8, a big spot here for the Hudson Raider defense. Fox will roll to his right, and he's going to run, and he will have the first down. Drilled by Lucas Trainer, but it'll be a fresh set of downs for Eau Claire Memorial. 1st and goal coming up for them.
And there was just nobody on that side of the field that had containment. Hudson has to shore up this defense.
24 seconds left, clock rolling. Let's see if Memorial decides to run a play or not. Looks like they will. They'll come to the line of scrimmage. 17 seconds and ticking here in the first quarter. And Everhart will keep it himself once again, and he's into the end zone.
And they made that look just way too easy. Went 80 yards in virtually no time at all.
Memorial will line up for this conversion with kind of a goofy formation, and Eau Claire Memorial now will run a play. They're going to go for 2 here. Snap goes over the head of Everhart. He picks it up, and he's looking to deliver the football. Incomplete.
That is just blows my mind. All you need is a 1-point conversion to go ahead. They must absolutely have nobody that kicked the ball.
Eau Claire Memorial lined up with their 5 linemen far to the left, and it looked like it was kind of Everhart's decision. He comes up, and if he likes what he sees on defense, he just stood up and took the snap.
I don't know. I just don't understand that.
I agree with you. If there's ever a situation to kick an extra point, that's the spot right there.
Now you basically negated your good play on special teams when you blocked the extra point.
Yeah.
So it's
4 seconds to play here in the first quarter. 6-6. The Hudson Raiders score on a fumble recovery. The offense has only been on the field once, and it wasn't a pretty drive, if you want to call it a drive.
Yeah, they ran 3 plays, lost 20 yards, and punted the ball. Well, maybe we can get a run back here. Let's have some non-typical scoring. It's going to be a short kick.
Short, high kick. Fielded by Dayton Demo, and Demo will bring it up to around the 32-yard line, and that will be it for the first quarter. So at the end of 1, it's Hudson 6, Eau Claire Memorial 6, and you called me today, Joel, and you said, I think it's going to be an interesting game. It's been interesting.
Yes, it has been.
I'm hoping the Hudson Raiders kind of had some butterflies on that first drive and get it together because they blocked no one on that drive. It was pretty ugly, and this will be their second opportunity tonight. It's weird coming out in the second quarter. This is your second chance with the football, but they looked really dominant offensively last week at Rice Lake. But
they've been dominant offensively all season.
Yeah. Talked about Eau Claire Memorial able to clinch a playoff berth with a victory tonight. The Hudson Raiders are in the spot where if they win tonight, they're 2-2. They're going to be kind of in the middle of the conference in pretty good shape still. But if they lose tonight, they fall to 1-3. And when you're 1-3, if you lose one more game, you're out of it. So a big night here for the Hudson Raiders. They'll send Marvin in motion. Try to slow down some of that pressure. And now Yucatil is going to swing around the option and met by 3 white jerseys as he reaches the point of attack. Yucatil able to fall forward to salvage a short loss, but again, nowhere to go for John Yucatil.
He didn't even have an option to even be able to option that ball because there was pressure on him so fast.
This time they give it to, actually Yucatil's going to keep it, slides through a tackle, and then he's drilled. The linebacker coming up. It's going to be a short gain. He'll give him about 3 yards, and he'll set up 3rd down in a short 8.
Number 40, Tyler Lee's been a real thorn in the side of the offense. Their middle linebacker. He's been in there on the blitz, and he ranged over to the sideline to get that tackle on Yucatil there too. So.
They'll run Marvin in motion, and now they'll reset the offense. And Yucatil kicks it out.
There we go.
Marvin
there
on the
we
edge.
go.
Marvin, first down and more across the 50, still on his feet down to the 40. And Eau Claire Memorial has brought the pressure right up the middle, and the Raiders haven't been able to get to the outside. That time they do, and they hit a big play because there's just nobody out there. They're bringing the pressure right up the middle.
Exactly, and that's what Hudson needs to do. They need to be able to get to that edge and make Memorial respect that wide play.
1st and 10 for the Raiders at the 40-yard line. And they will give it to Diemel up the middle. Diemel on his feet and should have a 1st down.
But I thought they had Eau Claire offsides on that. It looked like somebody, either he timed that perfectly or he was offsides.
Gain of around 11 for Dayton Diemel, and that will move the chains. Raiders 1st down inside the 30-yard line of Eau Claire Memorial. John Yucatil set to throw. He's going to throw it deep down the near side of the field, and it'll be incomplete, looking for Weisemeyer. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Raiders. 10:15 left in the second quarter. We're tied at 6 apiece. Second down and 10, Marvin in motion. And a lot of movement there. Eau Claire Memorial believes they got the Raiders, but it looks like it's going to be on Eau Claire Memorial.
They've run that play for years, and
so that will move the Hudson Raiders up 5 yards. So 2nd and 10 turns into 2nd and 5. Now they'll give to Brayden Marvin, and Marvin can't turn the corner. It's going to be a loss of around 3 yards.
Tackles on number 44, Nick Russell, and number 45, Derek Renczynski.
Raiders tried to find that edge, but
Yeah, I think there was an offensive lineman that was out there that was supposed to be leading that and did not get the block he needed to and lost everything they gained on that penalty.
3rd and about 9. 4-down territory here for the Raiders. Ukatil throws it out for Weissemeyer, but Weissemeyer immediately wrapped
you
up and
gotta
pulled
throw
down.
a better block than that.
Tackled by number 45, Derek Orzinski.
So now the Raiders will send the punt team onto the field.
Come on. That whole play is predicated on the wide receiver to make a block on the defensive back.
Raiders balls on the 33.
So had the Raiders, I think had they picked up some yardage there, they go for it on 4th down. But when you lose that kind of yardage, Raiders trying to play some field position here. Christian Bell set to punt. It's a good snap. And Bell again.
Hopefully it'll get a
high
takes
short.
a Hudson bounce.
Does take a Raider bounce, but something's going on with Christian Bell.
Well, I don't know if he did. If at that point he was just trying too much to try to angle it, or it's.
It looked like he hit the ball on the top. I mean, too far back on his foot there, and that's what it sounded like as well.
And they're just trying to do too much, and it's just trying to be too perfect, too precise.
So 1st and 10 for Eau Claire Memorial, just inside their own 20. Trying to break a 6-6 tie, and they will give it to Sean Fox, and Fox will pick up around 4 or 5 on 1st down.
Niederhauser on the tackle. Gained about 3 or 4 on that. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Ryan Reeder had a chance to make a tackle in the backfield there and just couldn't quite wrap him up.
And Memorial will hand it off to Fox once again.
Fox on the carry.
Going to pick up around 3 there.
Tackled by number 46, Dalton Marski, and number 20.
Dalton Marski and Lucas Trainer in on the tackle for the Raiders.
Yeah, the linebacker blitzed on that side, blitzed in, and they ran that right through the hole he vacated.
3rd down and short coming up for Hudson, or for Memorial.
Well, this is a spot here. If you stop them here, they're not going to go for it on 4th down. Well, looks like they're going to call a timeout.
Eau Claire Memorial calls a timeout, and this might be one of those spots that this is a big 3rd down here. If you can convert and keep this drive going, but if the Raiders can get a stop, hopefully you can get that offense back on the field and get them chugging again.
I know what I'd call if I was on the Memorial sideline. I would just have Everhart back there with the ball in the shotgun and let him run.
It's been a pretty effective play tonight for Eau Claire Memorial.
Once again, I want to welcome everybody to 2014 homecoming. Reminder at halftime we got played out of homecoming.
I think at this point, I think you need to stress the fact that we need to get a good snap here, Mr. Center. As you said earlier, the Eau Claire Memorial Center has been the Raiders' best defensive player tonight.
Well, maybe he can help us out here again.
3rd and a long 3 for Eau Claire Memorial.
Yeah, if I were Everhart, I would just take that ball and I would sprint towards their sidelines and hopefully pick up the 3 yards. There's a wide open field over there. Yep.
And that's what he'll do. Raiders
Fumble!
all over it. Ball on the field.
Oh, I think Memorial fell on it. It's going to be 4th down.
So 4th down. Schwartz on the tackle.
Well, I'd be awful tempted here to go for it.
So 4th down and about a foot here for Memorial.
Here comes the punt team, it looks like. But do they fake it?
It's not a bad spot to do it.
Who's your punter? I didn't see Everhart run off the field.
He is off the field. It's Chance Meyer.
He's back there running. He's playing wide receiver.
And Meyer kicks it away. It's going to be fielded by Trainer at the 34-yard line. Slips through some tackles. Still on his feet. Gets around the edge. And will dive forward to the 47-yard line.
Is that the same Lucas Trainer we saw limp off the field earlier? Looks like none the worse for wear.
I don't know what he drinks on the sidelines, but it's got to have a lot of electrolytes in it because the kid certainly has some energy out there.
He was like a jitterbug. I think his last 5 yards, he had an Old Abe defender hanging on his back.
6:32 left in the second quarter. We're tied at 6 apiece, and the Hudson Raider offense back on the field at around the 48-yard line. And they will go to Dayton Diemel. And Diemel's going to pick up about 5 on first down. That's another way to slow down that pursuit up the middle. If you slip by them, pick up some gains there, they're going to stop doing what they've been doing.
Yeah, if they can, just sustain a drive and not let the defense dictate what you're going to do.
They'll give it to Diemel once again.
There's that
about a yard
Lee
that
again,
time.
blitzing in there.
3rd and 5 now coming up for Hudson. Clock now just under 6 minutes in the first half.
I think
Ucatil will go under center once again. This time looking to throw the football under pressure.
Come on! Throw the flag!
Several flags. They just yanked him down by his face mask. That'll be an easy first down for the Hudson Raiders. John looks like he's fine.
That's one where you can get your neck broke.
It'll be a personal foul face mask. Doesn't take a lot of judgment to call personal foul on that one.
What's that? And that's only a 5-yard penalty? Is that all that is? A 5-yard penalty?
Wow.
Yo, that stuns me.
Memorial jumps off sides that time.
Ooh, I think Hudson might have got away with one there. I thought Hudson moved, but.
So the Raiders will get another 5 there, and we'll move the football just inside the 35-yard line.
They can mark off another 10 to make up for that. I don't understand how they only marked off 5 yards for that face mask.
I'm not sure either, Joel. I'm with you on that one. They'll give it to Diemel, and not much room to run there for Dayton Diemel. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Was actually Jordan Carranza on the run. And now this time I think it'll be on the Raiders. The 2nd and 5 turns into 2nd and 10.
Now, how is that an equivalent penalty, that face mask?
Especially to that level. I mean, like you said, he literally just turned his neck around on that penalty.
I gotta read, because they marked it 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Well, that was 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it with Marvin, and Marvin's yanked down once again.
Horse collar. They're going to call it a horse collar.
And again, I don't understand how you can call it from the spot of the foul in this situation. I mean, if that's a spot foul, then why don't you do that to the quarterback just about every play? Because it just doesn't compute.
You can't mark that off from the spot of the foul. I don't understand high school football rules. It's a personal foul again, horse collar, and they're marking it off from the spot of the foul. And it's going to be 10 yards. is an automatic first down. Now they mark off 15. How is that 15 and the face mask isn't?
10-yard penalty, first and 10. Well, wait. Timeout, Raiders.
The
And that's-
marker still shows second down as well, so you don't get a first down out of it either.
I'm totally confused. Hope somebody's got to explain this to me who knows more about the rules than I do, because it looked to me like clearly like he marked it off where the flag was.
Yeah, he
He
did.
marked it off 15 yards.
There's no doubt. That's what he did.
And if that face masking was a personal foul as well, that should have been 15 yards. Even if they're going to mark off in the spot of the foul, he marked off 10 yards.
Correct.
It does not compute. You know me, I'm never one to question the officials. But this officiating crew is really bad.
Well, it'd be one thing if you were consistently bad, but as you say, 10 yards on one personal foul, 15 on the next.
And how you mark them off from the spot of the foul, I don't get that either.
Now they are giving the Raiders a first down, so they figured that part out at least.
Did they move it back?
They didn't. They marked it second down last time when they were out there. Now they realize, it's an automatic first down. So good for them. First and 10, the 31-yard line. Ucatil will go from the pistol for the first time tonight. And kicks it out to Braden Marvin. Marvin making some guys miss. Marvin down the sideline. First down and more for the Raiders. Down to around the 14-yard line.
Dangerously close to making that a forward pass.
Chance Meyer on the tackle for the Old Blades. It's a first down, Raiders. First and 10 for the Raiders. Ball's on the Old Blades 14.
The market at the 14. Clock rolling, 4:13 left. And Ucatil kicks it to Marvin once again. This time goes out of bounds through his hands. It'll be a loss.
No, again, there's an example, because if that's a forward pass behind the line of scrimmage, is that a live ball? Or
If
is
it's
that
a forward pass? It's not.
It's not a live ball.
Basically a shovel pass. Second and 13. And we got whistles and flags, and the Raiders are going to back up another 5 yards. Hey.
Oh, man. Shoot yourself in the foot again. I think it's 2nd and 18 now.
Right in that neighborhood.
Well, you're basically in a position here where you're going to have to throw it twice, or maybe run something wide to this side of the field.
Ucatil will go from the pistol once again. Set to throw, under pressure, gets it out of there, incomplete. He's lucky to get, he got that football out of there.
That's offensive line of Hudson's not playing the way it did for the first 5 weeks or first 4 weeks of the season. And I wondered how big of a difference missing Wilgren was going to make, and I talked to some people about last week's game. They said that the kid that took his place played pretty well last week, but something's not clicking tonight.
3rd and 18. Ucatil gets it to Marvin on the screen, and Marvin's going to get back close to the original line of scrimmage, but
Well, I think you're going to see a field goal attempt here.
4th down coming up. Raiders will make substitutions here. Christian Bell on to kick a 32-yard field goal.
About a 33-yard field goal. Johnny, you could tell the whole.
There's another situation where, that special teams, when you're missing a starter, you got to make sure what your responsibility is if you're the substitute.
Snap is
Got the
good.
leg.
Kick is up, and
It's
good.
good.
So the 32-yard field goal by Christian Bell with 3:13 left to play in the second quarter gives the Hudson Raiders a 9-6 lead, and it's just nice to see maybe Christian Bell kind of getting some confidence back after making a kick.
I was going to say, I think that's a confidence builder for Christian there. That was a nice kick. Good leg into it. Got a nice high kick, plenty of distance.
Into the wind. Put it right in there. Plenty of lift on that one as well.
Well, with 3:13 to go in the first quarter, let's see if Hudson's defense can rise to the occasion here and get into the halftime with the lead.
Raiders will get the football first in the second half. Last week in the Big Rivers Conference, River Falls 14 at Chippewa Falls. Chippewa with 21. Hudson falling to Rice Lake on the road, 56-54. Superior, 35-34 over Menominee at Williams Stadium in Menominee. And it was this Eau Claire Memorial team winning 32-15 over Eau Claire North. Line drive kick into the wind is going to be fielded around the 10-yard line by Fox. And Fox will bring it ahead to around the 29. But that was kind of a big story last week. Superior 1-point victory on the road at Menominee.
Yeah, that was a nail biter.
I can't remember the last time Superior beat Menominee. I don't know if they ever have.
Yeah, and I think Menominee was leading in most of that game.
They were. Pass complete over to Webster, and I believe that will move the chains. That will. First down yardage.
And that, Lucas Trainer should have never had to make that tackle. That guy should have been tackled right when he caught the ball. And yeah, it's we've talked about it year after year about the hallmark of Hudson defense is sure tackling, and they just don't have that this year.
First and 10 for Memorial. They'll give it to
there we
Fox
go.
up the middle.
There
Raiders
we go.
Stack
There's
him up
Jensen
and
in there.
bring him back.
Led by number 99, Holden Tim, and number 95, Miles Lewis. Lewis and Tim on the tackle.
I think it was Miles Jensen on the tackle. That's a guy that that's kind of the straw that stirs the drink here for the Hudson defense. That nose tackle position, you really need to play that stout against the run.
Second and 11 now for Memorial. Clock rolling, 2:13 to play in the half. Wind picking up, Everhart standing back there. Everhart will go down. Ryan Ryder, Jack Koski, holding Tim in there. And it's about a 7-8 yard loss. And it keeps the clock rolling as well.
That's exactly what this Raider defense needed here was back them up a little bit, put them in 3rd and long. Let's get a stop here and make them punt.
3rd and 16. Bring 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side of the field. Fox next to Everhart. Everhart throwing it out to the edge.
That ball was batted too. That was fortunate to get that completed.
Got his receiver, Malin Jones, but it's well short of the first down.
Ryan Reeder did a good job to get some elevation and got a finger on that ball, but he's still able to complete it. But like I said, there's the 4th and long, and on comes the punt team. Now, as long as nothing catastrophic happens here on the punt, we should be able to go into this halftime with a lead.
Lucas Trainer set to receive. Chance Meyer to kick it away. High, deep kick. Trainer's going to field it at around the 20-yard line. Takes it to the near side of the field, still on his feet, and will get taken out of bounds at around the 33. Well, 1:10 left, and the Hudson Raiders holding a 3-point lead. You think they're going to get real fancy here?
I expect to see Dayton Dimmel up the middle, at least twice.
Raiders do have all 3 timeouts, but I think Coach Cowles may be happy with everything that's kind of gone on here in this half. Be really happy to go to the locker room leading this football game.
Exactly. With as bad as Hudson's played on both sides of the ball, to be able to go into halftime with a 3-point lead, I mean, I think that's a major victory.
Yucatil under center.
They
Had
got him to
movement before the
move.
snap. Memorial says it's on Hudson. Hudson says it's on Memorial.
And I think the Stripes are going to say it's on Memorial, so we'll get an easy 5.
Well, that'll bring the football up to the 39-yard line, so they gain 5 yards and we don't lose a tick on the clock.
It's the best play they've had tonight.
And they'll give it to Diemel up the middle, and Diemel
He's going to have a first down.
should pick up the first down.
You know, I might be tempted here to try something wide with Marvin and just see if he can break some, because that's been their, bread and butter play.
And they're going to have the referee come in and
Why are you
eyeball
gonna
this
measure
one.
it? It's clearly a first down. I mean, we have to be in the ideal position to see that, looking right down the 45-yard line. But
Maybe you didn't want to step on toes. You got this structure. So, 1st and 10 for Hudson at the 44. Yucatil looking to throw this time down the near side of the field, and it'll be incomplete.
a lot of contact, but
I don't think that was catchable.
incidental. I don't know about this line judge on this side. I know I can outrun him. It's not a good sign.
In a short race, maybe.
Well, these guys just have no business officiating football games.
53 seconds left. And they will
Oh,
get
he's
the
got some
Kranza around the near
blockers.
side, and he will get out of bounds. Should be first down territory. It's Yuri Bronson, actually. And I believe he's got first down yardage.
Now you're into a place here where, you got your timeouts.
Bronson got out of bounds. And we'll move the chains once again. 48 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Yucatil looking to throw under pressure, gets it out of there, incomplete.
Under pressure, you've got to give him more time than that. I mean, you got to give him at least 3 seconds.
Clock now down to 43 seconds.
I still like that wide play to Marvin.
And they're going to go around the near side again, once again with Bronson. Bronson takes
No
it back
timeout.
inside, and now the Raiders will call timeout. We'll stop the clock momentarily as they move the chains. But clock stopped, 36 seconds left. Raiders have all 3 timeouts.
And
They did
so
not
they're gonna
call
wind the
timeout.
clock at they don't stop.
And there
Oh,
it
we
starts
go.
now.
They start the clock.
Yucatil from the pistol. And through the hands of Weissemeyer.
Oh, he had him open, hit him in the hands. That was perfect. He could have ran to the sideline, turned it, maybe got a few more yards, but got out of bounds. That was a great play.
29 seconds.
Nice touch on the pass, too. They got to get I think they need another 20 yards to try a field goal. At least another 10.
Kicking into the wind here. Yucatil will set up the screen
Oh, here
to
we go.
Weissemeyer. Lots of room.
Now you gotta-
And the Raiders down to around the 17-yard line. Again, clock stops as they move the chains. Clock sitting at 22
So
seconds.
Do you spike it or do you use one of your timeouts?
I think they're going to run a
Oh,
play.
Run a play.
And they'll give it
And
to
the clock doesn't
Bronson
start.
once again.
Clock
And
never
Bronson
started.
out of bounds. Joel,
So-
hometown clock.
That 20, still 22.3 left.
Hometown
I
clock.
don't know, the coaches on the far side are saying something about it.
And it looks like the officials will do the right thing and will run a few seconds off the clock here.
Official timeout.
Tell you one thing, last week, interesting play. Both of the officials under the goalposts as an extra point attempt occurs. The snap is bad. Rice Lake takes it around the left side, and it was questionable whether or not they got the football into the end zone because there was no official standing at that goal line at that spot. Officials conferred for about 2 minutes, come out and say it's good. There was nobody there to see that. No one had any idea whether or not. I mean, I couldn't say he did or didn't. I don't think anybody in the stadium could. But hometown, you get the 2 points, and that ended up being the difference in the football game.
I would guarantee that in Hudson's hometown, they would not get that call. We've been to too many games. So they ticked off. It looked like ticked off 4 seconds. 3 seconds.
19 to go here in the second half, or first half. Raiders trying to add to a 9-6 lead. John Ukatil over to Bronson. Bronson's going to be tripped up and taken down. 13 seconds left now. And I believe the Raiders used a timeout there. They did.
You got third down, 3 yards.
Tackled by number 24, Bryce Rasmussen on the tackle. Timeout Raiders.
So third down in about 3 at around the 12-yard line. You got 2 timeouts. Now you got 1 timeout.
1 timeout. So
I would take 1 shot in the end zone. You don't get it, send Christian Bell out there to kick a field goal.
or do you want to run to the middle of the field? Get a better. I think I'd be tempted to try to run something to the right, and hopefully have it terminate inside the hashes and stop the clock with 5 seconds to go and bring Christian Bell out.
One thing you don't want to do is fight through a bunch of tackles and run around the field with 13 seconds left. So whatever you do, it's got to be deliberate. Raiders lead at 9-6. Have an opportunity here to add to this lead with just 13 ticks of the clock left before they go to the locker room for halftime. Raiders with 2 receivers. They'll send Braden Marvin in motion, and they're going to give it to Nick Holm. Football on the field, and I believe Memorial has it.
Oh, my God. They're saying 4th down. You got to stop the clock. Stop the clock.
Timeout. Call timeout, and they do.
If it's a fumble, wouldn't they stop the clock?
Not if the Raiders recover.
Okay, so they're saying it wasn't a fumble. I thought no, it definitely was a fumble, but they must have said the Raiders fell back on it.
So the Raiders will send Christian Bell onto the field for around a 29-yard field goal this time.
Could have been disastrous for the Raiders, losing that chance to score points. At least now they got a chance at a field goal. And I haven't watched Christian Bell kick enough in practice or watched him kick enough to know where he likes it and where he's best from, but
not quite on the hash mark, about a yard toward the center of the field.
Being he's a right-footed kicker, I would think that this would be the preferable side of the field to be on, but
29-yarder. John Ukatil will hold. 3 seconds left to play. This will be the last play of the first half. Raiders looking to add to a 9-6 lead. It's a good snap. John Ukatil gets it down. It's wide.
That's way wide.
So no good. And both teams will go into the locker room kind of wondering what if. I think both teams had some interesting moments there in that first half.
Hudson's got to feel good about the way that half ended because they got themselves in a position to score some points. And the way this half started, those were going to be few and far between. And, to be up by even the slimmest of margins at 3 points and to have the ball coming back, you got to feel good about, the second half.
One thing you can't feel good about, though, is the Raiders did not get in the end zone on offense in that whole half. That's the first time that's happened this season where they failed to score a touchdown offensively in any half this year. So Eau Claire Memorial defense played really good in that half, and it's going to be a very entertaining second half. Joel Eby and I will be right back with the second half. Second half about to get underway here at Newton Field, and It's been a while since the Raiders have lost here at home, and it's been even longer since they've lost at homecoming. What do they need to do to secure this win here? It's 9-6 right now. They're in the lead, but certainly a lot of football to be played here. Well, you see it. What do we got to do to win this game?
They got to hang on to the ball. The defense has to make a few stops. I mean, it's just, some drives out of the offense. Just play basic football. This isn't, we're not talking rocket science here. I mean, you just got to block better than they do and tackle better than they do. Neither of which we've done in the first half, and we're still leading.
David Webb set to kick off for Eau Claire Memorial. Fielded around the 8-yard line by Nick Holm, and Holm will go down at around the 27. So the Raiders will start their first possession in the second half with pretty decent field position.
I'm trying to think back to when the last time was Hudson lost at home. And I think I have to go all the way back to the 2008 season when they got beat by River Falls here on homecoming.
I was going to say, I believe that was a homecoming game.
On that trickeration.
Raiders will run the option to Carranza.
And they lost yardage on that.
And they will, lose about 2 yards on the play.
And, I don't understand that, why you're running that play to the short side of the field.
Second and 12 now. Ucatil will set up in the pistol. And he's going to keep it. And not much going there either. Gets maybe a yard. Third and long coming up for Hudson.
I read the paper every week, and I read the comments about Hudson, how they play, and the coaches, are always bragging. I'm saying how well the offensive line's played. And I agree up to this point. Tonight, they have not played well. And they need to play better than this if they're going to win this game.
Third and 11. And
they're going to get a free 5.
Memorial will jump off sides and turn it into a 3rd and 6, which is much more manageable. Raiders will set up in the same formation. Braden Marvin goes in motion. And we got more
now
movement.
Hudson moved.
And the Raiders will give him the
Weismeyer
5
moved.
yards back.
That is just, come on, guys. Oh.
So 3rd and 11 once again. Marvin in motion. Screen to Weismeyer. He catches it, but pulled down right away. Raiders Eau Claire Memorial's linebacker stayed home on little receiver screen, and it picks up about a yard as Christian Bell comes on to punt this away for Hudson. Actually, Hudson has made a substitution. Trapiccio back in there. He punted the first game, and then Bell has come on and done a really nice job, but tonight has had a really difficult time getting the ball out of there cleanly. Low snap. Kicks it away. And it's going to be fielded around the 48-yard line.
Hudson picks up right where they left off in the first half. Stalling offense and not great punting.
Not quite a carbon copy of that drive, but still pretty ugly.
You give them the ball. This is what Hudson usually does to other teams. Get a quick stop, get the ball back with a short field, and
Memorial will take over at midfield. 10:28 left to go in the third quarter. Hudson leading it 9-6 in a game that Memorial has really dominated statistically. And Everhart fakes the handoff and will throw it away. intended for Ness. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Memorial.
There's some decent coverage on that play by the Raider secondary and the linebackers. Actually, really, Everhart really had nowhere to go with the ball.
Other games going on in the Big Rivers Conference tonight. Chippewa Falls at Eau Claire North. Rice Lake with a big game at Menominee tonight. And River Falls on the road at Superior. And they'll give it to Fox, and Fox will be stopped after a yard of about 1. That'll bring up 3rd and long for Eau Claire Memorial.
And Ducharme was screaming on this side of the secondary that he had 2 wide receivers on this side, and he was the only one there. It's a good thing that was a run. One defender on 2 receivers, that's usually not a good combination.
Memorial will bring in an extra receiver for this play. The 2 to the left, 1 to the near side. Fox will swing out and out of the near side as well. Empty backfield for Ben Everhart. Everhart under some pressure, gets it away to Ness, and the Raiders' Lucas Trainer able to make the tackle and pull him down, but it looks like Memorial's going to make some substitutions. This would be a good place to run a fake punt if you're going to run one.
I'd fake nothing. I'd go for it.
They did make substitutions, and they brought the punter in.
There's no way
I agree with you. I'd leave my offense on the field.
There's no way
here.
I would punt this. I'd have Everhart run it.
4th and 4, Memorial brings the punter onto the field, and he will kick it away.
Get into the end zone.
And it will go in the end zone. Big break for the Raiders. So, yeah, they net 24 yards on the punt. I guess they figure the way the Raider punt game has gone tonight, they're going to get some yards out of it anyway.
Playing a battle of field position. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not coaching. I'm sitting up here spouting off, but there's no way I wouldn't have gone for that.
8:52 left in the 3rd quarter.
Wasn't there a team, was it a college team somewhere that they never punted? They went for it they went for 4 downs all the time.
I think it was actually a high school
Was it
team.
a high school team? I couldn't remember if it was high school or college, but there we go. Demel.
Dayton Demel, 1st down yardage out across the 32.
Demel on the carry. Demel scores for about 11 yards. That's a Hudson Raider 1st down. Tackled by number 78, Ben Mauer.
1st and 10. And you can tell we'll kick it out to Braden Marvin. Marvin gets through a tackle.
Marvin stiff arms his own man, gets in the way.
He's in the way, you got to move him out of the way.
Oh.
Gain of 6. 2nd down and 4. Raiders right up to the line of scrimmage. And the handoff to Nick Holm. Nick Holm looked to be stopped, stayed on his feet. 1st down yardage out to midfield. And the Raiders moving the football.
I think if I was the wide receivers coach, I'd be talking to wide receivers about when it's a run play and you're blocking, you never have your face mask to the play. You should always have your back to the play.
Ucatil fakes the handoff, under pressure, gets out of it, throwing it deep downfield for Weismeyer, incomplete.
Pass intended for Weismeyer falls incomplete. That's a 2nd down then. 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. Falls on the 15.
Ucatil did a nice job of avoiding the pressure there. Showed his arm there. He threw that on the run and threw it 30 yards in the air.
2nd and 10 coming up.
40.
And they will give it to Demel. Demel will fall ahead for a gain of around 3 yards. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Hudson's got to get some players off the field.
And the Raiders going to have to call timeout.
Little confusion there on the Raider offense. Usually that's a pretty well orchestrated unit there, and just having some problems getting the right personnel out there and forced to burn a timeout, which it's pretty early in the half to be doing that.
In this game and the way it's going, I think those timeouts are going to come in handy. But it's just been an off night overall, I think, for the Hudson Raider offense. I know you have to give some credit to the Eau Claire Memorial defense. I think if you brought in a game plan to face this Raider offense, they've executed it pretty well. They've put a lot of pressure, especially up the middle on this Raider offense. And Ukitil's had some opportunities to throw it, but the receivers have been well covered, and they've put some pressure on them.
And, then as much pressure as they're bringing up the middle, I don't understand why there's not more opportunities on the edges.
Take a look at the Big Rivers Conference standings entering tonight. Superior atop the conference, 3-0 overall, 4-1 overall, 3-0 in the conference. Eau Claire Memorial with the same record. Rice Lake at 2-1 in the Big Rivers, 4-1 overall. Then you've got a group: Hudson, Menominee, Chippewa Falls, and River Falls, all 1-2. Eau Claire North is 0-3 in the Big Rivers Conference. They'll go from the pistol. It's third down. They send Marvin in motion, and they're going to kick it out to Marvin. Marvin has first down and more. Down to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up for Hudson.
I've said it earlier. You need to get him involved in the passing game, and there you go. Opportune time, picks up a first down.
1st and 10 down to the Eau Claire Memorial 30-yard line. Ukitil will go under center this time. And they'll give it to Diemel. And Diemel with a nice pickup on first down. Going to be around 4 or 5 yards. Chance Meyer makes the tackle for Eau Claire Memorial. 2nd and a long 5 coming up for Hudson. And Ukitil keeps it on the option, and he's going to go backwards. Going to be loss of around 5 yards. Bring up 3rd down and long.
That would have been one of them situations where he would have been better off handing the ball off than pulling it out. And, you end up losing yardage on it, and now you're 3rd and long.
3rd down and 10 for Hudson. Ukitil set to throw. They run the screen. They get Holm, and Holm, I believe, has first down yardage. He does. That will move the chains. They're going to blitz those linebackers. You just swing the running back right in behind them, and Nick Holm was wide open.
And that's one thing I think Hudson needs to take more advantage of, the short passing game.
And Ukitil to Bronson, and Bronson still on his feet, down inside the 5-yard line to the 3. It'll be 1st and goal coming up for Hudson, looking to add to a 9-6 third quarter lead.
Where's this offense been all game?
Not sure.
I don't know, but that's not the same offense we watched play in the first half and the first drive of this half.
They're going to mark it just inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. And they're going to give it to Diemel, and Diemel is into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. 5:54 to play in the third quarter, and the Raiders now have a 2-possession lead at 15-6, looking to add one more here with Christian Bell.
It's an important extra point.
Make it a 10-point game. Good snap, it's down, and the
That's
kick
good.
is good.
And that was just what the offense needed to get some confidence. A long drive, they started throwing 20-yard line. March mixed up the pass and the run, had to overcome some adversity with some penalties thrown in there and some losses, and did a great job.
The Raiders out to a 10-point lead now. Easily the largest lead of tonight's football game. It's been a really tightly played contest.
Well, if you're Hudson faithful here that filled the stands, you got to take a little sigh of relief. It's a 2-score game now, and I'm not saying that Hudson's not going to score again, but at least you can feel a little better about the way things are going.
Really nice crowd tonight here from Eau Claire Memorial as well. I mean, the stands are full, and we got to believe those are all Eau Claire Memorial fans. The fence line also pretty filled up. Those may be some Hudson fans there, but a really nice crowd here tonight at Newton Field. everything going on in the pro and college games. It's good to see community support. This is real football right here.
I would rather watch high school football than any other kind of football.
Christian Bell set to kick off from the 40-yard line, kicking into the wind. Raiders will have the wind at their backs for the fourth quarter. High kick going to be fielded at the 10-yard line, and Memorial is going to be pulled down inside the 10. Raider coverage team swarm after the...
Yet another miscue by the old Abes, bobbling the kickoff, and it cost him dearly. What looked like was going to be a fairly decent opportunity to get a run back. Fielded the ball at the 10-yard line, ends up getting tackled back inside the 10 down to about the 7.
So Eau Claire Memorial will start this drive with 92 yards in front of them.
Let's get a quick turnover.
Everhart will go from the shotgun. 4 receivers. And they're going to give it to Fox around the far side of the field. And Fox, with a big run, will get Eau Claire Memorial out of the shadow of the end zone out to around the 26-yard line. Gain of about 24 yards there, first down run. 17-yard gain.
I think I'd take that play right there and I'd show that to Hudson wide receivers and say that's how you block on a running play.
First and 10 for Memorial. They'll give it to Fox once again. This
There's
time,
Jensen.
Driven back. Miles Jensen. Stops him for no loss. Just under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. The Hudson Raiders lead at 16-6 here on homecoming night at Newton Field.
Let's have another play just like that.
Memorial stays with the 4 receiver look. 2 to the far side, 2 to the near side. And they'll...
Oh, Ducharme. Nice job by Ducharme making a sure tackle on that.
Bryce Ducharme with the open field tackle on Cole Gagne. Gonna limit that pass to a 4-yard gain and brings up 3rd and 6 for Eau Claire Memorial.
When I saw that play develop, he was playing so far off. The receiver was so wide open. Ducharme did a nice job of closing the distance and making the tackle to keep that from being a big first down.
This is a big spot here for the Hudson Raider defense.
We got a timeout.
The officials have a timeout here. Not sure what the story is. They'll restart the clock. Big third down here. If the Raiders can get a stop, get their offense on the field, they could maybe at least run off the rest of the clock here in the third quarter. Got to get a stop here first. 3rd down and 6. Everhart from the shotgun. And
he's going to have the first down.
They're going to have the first down.
You know, when you're playing 10 yards off.
Got it to Gagne. Needed 6, got about 8, and it's 1st and 10 for Eau Claire Memorial.
You know, they haven't gone deep once. Why are we insisting on having our corners play that far off? Maybe start them that far off to give them that look, but you got to close on the snap. They're not. There's no double moves in high school football. There's no 40-yard routes. It's
Everhart goes from the shotgun once again. And he will keep it. Going to go around the far side of the field. He's got plenty of room, and he'll have a first down into Hudson Raider territory down to around the 47-yard line.
one thing I think I've noticed too is I don't think this defense plays with the reckless abandon that teams in the past have played. I don't see the racing to the ball and the desire to get your nose in there and make a tackle. So we're waiting for the play to come to us instead of dictating the play. And
first and 10. 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Hudson leads at 16-6. Eau Claire Memorial on the move. And they're going to run it with Ness to the right side, and Ness threw some arm tackles.
Boy,
and
Reeder had a nice chance there to stop him, just couldn't grab onto him.
Run by Ness picks up around 7 yards and will set up a 2nd down and 3 for Eau Claire Memorial.
And this drive started inside their own 10-yard line.
.218 left to play in the third quarter. 2nd and 3. And they'll give it to Fox up the middle, and Fox should have the first down.
That should be enough for the first down.
And number 11, Alex Shaw, and holding 10.
And that will move the chains for Eau Claire Memorial.
You know, and why on a short yardage situation you have your starting nose tackle on the sideline? Just so many little things in a game that just drive me crazy.
Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10.
There with that high snap again.
And
Oh,
the Raiders
you
had
gotta
an
be kidding
opportunity,
me.
but can't make it happen. And now Eau Claire Memorial will have a 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
If you're going to play the ball, you better make darn sure you get to it. Looked like it was going to be a wobbly pass. Cornerback on that side broke for the ball and tried to bat it down, and receiver did a nice job of hanging on to it. And you said it, we got 1st and 10. Another high snap.
Everhart pulls it down. He's going to be taken down for, looks like he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
It's a good thing that Everhart's over 6 feet tall, because I think he would have had a few more of those go over his head.
2nd and 10 coming up. He's had one go over his head tonight, but has pulled in several others that, again, if maybe you have a 5'8" quarterback. 2nd and 10.
There's one batted down.
Raiders
I think it was
bat the football
Niederhauser.
down at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd and 10 with 44 seconds left.
So Niederhauser on this side did a nice job of jumping up and blocking that pass.
Jake Niederhauser knocking it down. Senior linebacker. 3rd and 10.
Another high snap.
And they'll throw it for the end zone. Knocked away over there by John Cryer, and 4th down coming up. And I think Eau Claire Memorial's going for it.
The Memorial coaching staff is livid on the sidelines. One of the coaches threw his hat down in disgust. Oh, and it looks like they're taking Everhart's coming off the field. They're going to try a field goal. Now this absolutely makes no sense to me. If you didn't kick that extra point to start the game, and now you're going to try.
Ben Everhart is the holder. Snap is down, kick is up,
I think he got
and
it.
It's good.
Boy, that was a low line drive. You'd like to see somebody get a little bit of elevation on that and try to get a chance to block that.
So a nice stop. They had a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. The Raiders come up with a stop, but that was a long drive. Started at the 8 and finally culminated at the 11-yard line. Good news for the Raiders, it did take quite a bit of time off the clock. 35 to play here in the third quarter, but we're back to a one-possession game. Raiders going to have to put some points on the board here.
Raiders are going to have to score again. And, after that last drive, I have a little bit more confidence in this offense. Let's hope they can let's put another drive together. Get a decent return here, get a drive, and take up about half the fourth quarter.
After tonight's game, Raiders back on the road will travel to Chippewa Falls, Delray Field next week to take on the Cardinals. And the final home game of the season, River Falls here before they finish out the season at Carson Park in Eau Claire against Eau Claire North.
Boy, it seems like these seasons go by faster and faster.
I think that's age getting to us, Joel.
It was just yesterday we were getting ready for the Minnetonka game. Now here we are talking about the end of the season. Well, Marvin's going to return this one.
Fielded by Marvin at the 10-yard line. Directing traffic, and Marvin's going to take it out to about the 32. So pretty good starting field position here for the Raider offense.
Tackled by number 13, Brent Nicolette, and number 21, David Webb. Well, and Nicolette on the tackle for the Old Days. First and 10, Raiders ball on their own 34.
First and 10 at the 34. John Ucatil will go under center. I'll run Marvin in motion, and they're going to give to Dayton Diemel, and Diemel's not got much.
Tackled by number 43,
About a yard.
Andrew Wright. And number 44, Nick Russell.
I'll bring Nick Holm in to play the tailback.
We're going to have motion on Hudson.
Raiders are going to move back 5 yards. Second 9 goes to second and 14, and just been a sloppy football game tonight.
You cannot put yourself in these, odd, these long down and distance situations. It's put so much pressure on offense. It's struggling already.
Second and 14 now.
Now what do we got? Split. Timeout. Oh, it's the end of the third quarter.
And that will end the third quarter. So the Raiders able to put a touchdown on the board. Eau Claire Memorial puts a field goal on the board. And it's 16-9 at the end of 3, and one more to play. And what looks to be, I think we're going to have a nail biter here tonight.
No, I'd expect nothing less.
Eau Claire Memorial comes into this game 3-0, looking to get that fourth conference victory to put themselves in the playoffs. Because things are about to get tough for this Eau Claire Memorial team as far as the schedule goes. They basically have played the bottom 3 teams in the schedule, and they start tonight here at Hudson. Next week they'll host Menominee before they go on the road at Rice Lake and at Superior. So things are about to get tough for this football team. Obviously, pretty good football team, impressive, and they certainly could knock off some of those teams, but I think they'd like to get it done here tonight if they could.
Yeah, they've got a lot of experience at the skill positions, and exactly. They would much rather, be able to take a win out of here and be locked in than have to go to Superior or, go to Menominee or.
Second and 14 for the Raiders. And they'll run it up the middle, and they're not going to get much. Maybe a couple yards with Nick Holm. Third down and long coming up for Hudson.
So is it play calling or is it execution? I just don't. When you see the play work one time, it doesn't work the next. You got to think it's execution, but.
Ucatil set to pass. He gets it to Braden Marvin. Marvin's got some blockers out there with him. Gets a block out to the 45-yard line. That'll be a first down. They swung that out there, and you could tell from the outset that it was going to go for some good yardage. Yeah, a nice blocker coming out there with them, and the Raiders moved the chains in the pass to Braden Marvin. First and 10, and they will give it to Diemel, and Diemel's going to have about 2 or 3. Check, that's Nick Holm, and Holm will pick up 3. Ben Lobb on the tackle for Eau Claire Memorial. 10:59 left to play. Raiders trying to add to a 7-point lead here. And they'll give it to Demo once again. Demo, pretty good yardage there. Is going to set up a 3rd down and very manageable. Gain of around 5 on that play is going to set up a 3rd down and around 2 for the Hudson Raiders. David Webb in there on the tackle for Eau Claire Memorial. 3rd down and 2.
There it is!
Memorial jumps.
There it is! He moved. It wasn't the first guy. It wasn't the second guy. It was the 3rd guy.
We had a very nice view of it right here in front of the camera, and the Raiders convert a 1st down on the offsides by Eau Claire Memorial. So fresh set of downs, 10-18 to play here. Eau Claire Memorial, or the Hudson Raiders down to the 42. They're going to give it to Braden Marvin. Marvin, a great run behind Dayton Demo, and it's going to be a pickup of around 11 yards, and that should move the chains, and it does. A new wrinkle we haven't seen. Follow Demo right through the hole and pickup of 11.
I really believe getting the ball in Braden Marvin's hands is the best thing Hudson can do at this point.
1st and 10. Ukitil back under center. Lots of movement there.
Oh,
and they're gonna give
Marvin
to
just got
Marvin.
tripped
He's
up.
tripped up. Hudson offensive line is looking at the officials going, I think they did it again that time. A lot of stuff happening there before the snap. 2nd and 10. Marvin will go in motion. Raiders trying to slow down that Memorial blitz. And they'll give it to Demo. Demo, lots of room, fighting through tacklers.
I think
down
he's got the
inside
first down.
20.
Oh, he's going to get a bad spot. He's not going to get it.
Pickup of around 9.
Boy.
3rd down and short coming up for the Raiders.
I thought he had it. He was wrapped up around the ankles. He dove, but look at the ball landed right on the 20. They only give him the 19.
3rd and 1. And they'll give it to Demo once again. This time he's got the 1st down inside the 20. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders at around the 17-yard line. Clock down now to 9 minutes. First and 10. Ukitil under center. They run Marvin in motion. They give it to Nick Holm. Holmes cut down at around the 15. It'll be a short gain. Maybe about a yard, it looks like. Bring Carranza back into the game. And they will give it to Braden Marvin to the right side. Marvin turns on the Jets. Marvin into the end zone, but it's coming back.
That's a terrible call. They all he was doing was blocking. That's the best block Weismeyer's thrown all night, and they call it holding. That's a pathetic call. That is just pathetic.
So now they're going to march this penalty off from the line of scrimmage. No, they do make it a spot foul.
That was a good block by Weismeyer, and oh, God. These officials go to the geriatric home.
2nd and 15. Ukitil set to throw now. And
nice catch.
Got his man.
Oh, what a catch.
Nick Holm pulls that one down, and the Raiders have a 3rd down and manageable around 5 yards here. Be interesting to see what Hudson does if they can't convert here.
They'll kick the field goal.
Probably kick the field goal and get back to the 2-score lead. Ukitil tries to draw him off sides. And let's see what happens.
Memorial calls a timeout.
Eau Claire Memorial will call a timeout to talk this over.
There's going to tell them, do not jump.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like the Raiders are just under 5 yards. So I think if they jump, it will be a 1st down for the Hudson Raiders.
I still cannot believe that official called that a hold. That is. Oh, man. I want to see a replay.
You can catch that replay on the River Channel. You want replays on demand all year round, you can pick up our DVD set. Give us a call, 715-386-0115, or email us, info@riverchannel.org, to order your DVD set today. Individual game videos also available. You can get it on DVD or Blu-ray. 3rd down and 5 for Hudson. Dayton Diemel behind John Ucatil.
There it is, touchdown!
Diemel into the end zone, touchdown,
that was
Raiders.
Diemel, that was home, Nick Holm.
So much for us trying to decide what they do if they don't get it. Right up the middle, big hole for Dayton Diemel, and they basically didn't even touch him.
Basically untouched into the end zone. Well, there's a little justice there.
So the Raiders out to a 22-9 lead. And Christian Bell comes onto the field to try to make it a 14-point game.
And it's good.
Kick goes through, and the Raiders lead it 23-9 with 8 minutes to play here on homecoming. Now, again, Eau Claire Memorial certainly can move the ball down the field, but you talked about it a little bit earlier. They haven't thrown deep all night long. So if you can keep those plays in front of the defense here with 8 minutes to play, you have a hard time getting back into this football game.
That's now I can understand it, playing your defensive backs a little bit deeper. Like I said, keep the play in front of you. If they are going to throw deep, it's going to give the defensive lineman and your blitzing linebackers that much more a chance to get to the quarterback. You know, make them eat up some clock. There's only 8 minutes left in the game. But I think the key to this half has been 2 long drives by Hudson's offense. They didn't have a decent drive all first half. Started out the second half, stumbling, bumbling, and here we go. 2 nice drives and
couple nice drives that put touchdowns on the board and also have kept the Eau Claire Memorial offense on the sideline.
Yes. And it's given Hudson's defense a chance to rest up. So
Christian Bell will kick off this time with a pretty stiff wind at his back.
Yep, let's kick this one into the end zone.
Wind basically blowing the length of the field from left to right.
Little line driver, that's going to go out of bounds. Ooh, that's not good. That's not what you wanted there. That'll put the ball at the 30?
I think it puts the ball at the 40.
Well,
you said 30, I said 40, it's the 35.
Well, split the difference and
so 8 minutes to play. Raiders with a 14-point lead now.
Still 8 minutes. There's still plenty of time for Memorial to get back in this game. They need a score. Hudson's defensive backs are playing deep.
Everhart from the shotgun. And he'll throw it out to Ness. Ness stumbles, falls down after a gain of around 5 yards out to the 40.
And I don't understand. There's got to be somebody's responsibility to cover that back coming out of the backfield like that, or that tight end. It's somebody's got to be covering that guy.
If he doesn't fall down, it's an easy 10. Jack Koski will get the tackle, but he basically just laid on him. Second and 5. They'll fake the handoff. Everhart gets it to Ness once again. This time the Raiders wrap him up after a short gain. Give him about 1.5 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3. Clock rolling, 7 minutes to play.
And I don't think you're in a spot here where you can go for it on 4th down at this spot in the field. Although
down 14.
If you get it to 4th and 1, I'd maybe consider it. But boy, you'd hate to give Hudson the ball back in your own territory.
I'd run that Everhart keeper here.
Yeah, I'd probably run that right here. I'd run to this side of the field and.
Everhart.
Yes! Oh, I thought we had it.
Big hit in the backfield, and Bryce Descharme dove for the ball, but the officials say it hit the turf first. 4th down coming up.
And what are they going to do? Decision time. They're going to go for it, it looks like. They've had plays open all night. All they got to do is hit one of them.
And I would say Eau Claire Memorial has played this game pretty aggressively. Why not continue to do that?
Maybe they're going to try to get Hudson to jump off sides here.
4th down and 3.
You got to get up. You can't play that far off. It's an easy 1st down. Oh, no. Memorial uses their last timeout.
Eau Claire Memorial will use their 2nd timeout to talk this one over.
I don't know, man. I would have been more tempted to try to punt it here and then use your timeouts to get the ball back. But
well, if anything, try to draw them off sides before you call a timeout. They basically wasted the timeout there and the opportunity to maybe get 5 yards for free. So the Raider defense will have an opportunity to kind of reset here. And basically, you know what Eau Claire Memorial is going to do. They've spread it out pretty much all night long. You're probably going to see 4 wide receivers. And
you're going to see 38 come out 4 or 5 yards, cut across the pattern over on this side, and they're going to try to catch it, throw it to him. No, now they split 3 out to this side. A little different alignment.
38, Ness is the slot receiver. And they went for Ness, incomplete. They threw it to Ness right up the middle, and the Hudson Raiders will come onto the field on the Eau Claire Memorial side of the field.
Ness was open. He just didn't get turned around fast enough to see the ball, and that's the danger of going for it on 4th down. They've been pretty, accurate with their passes all night, and they tried something a little different that time, and
6
timing plays, and just the timing just wasn't quite there.
6:30 left to play in the game, and the Raiders, with one of those nice methodical drives, could run off most of the clock here. And Ucatil is going to kick it to Braden Marvin. Marvin with the stiff arm, but the defender hangs on and will pull down Braden Marvin after probably a short gain.
And if Hudson, right up to the line of scrimmage, I think I would be a little more willing to use up some clock.
Ucatil resets this, send Marvin in motion, give it to Dayton Diemel up the middle. Diemel basically right into the back of the lineman, but a nice pickup, gain of around 4 is going to set up 3rd down and 6. And here's a spot that maybe if you get 4 here, you're probably going for it on 4th down. No? Punt it away, make it go the length of the field?
I just think you'd have to be pretty close. I don't think you're going to want to if you got a chance at pinning them deep and making them go the length of the field. They got to score twice.
Punt game hasn't exactly been pretty for the Raiders tonight.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Raiders give it to Diemel once again, and Diemel's going to be close. Going to have about a 4th and 1 coming up for Hudson.
I'd go
4th
for
and
it.
2.
I'd go for
You're
it.
at the 33-yard line. If you don't get it, they still got to go 70 yards.
I'd go for it. Try to draw them off sides, maybe take a timeout.
4th and 1, and the Raiders will keep the offense on the field. Raiders try to draw Eau Claire Memorial. Not falling for it, but Raiders going to run a play here. And this time they do.
There they got him. They got him to jump. You got to be kidding me.
John Ucatil has hooked him about 4 or 5 times tonight.
Now he's going to hook him and reel him in.
So it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Hudson Raiders. They'll mark it at the 28-yard line. Raiders in business. Clock under 5 minutes now, and it just started winding. Ucatil under center. And they're going to. Ball comes close to being loose.
Ran right into the back of one of the offensive linemen. You'd like to see him with a little more vision.
Nick Holm picks up about 2.
He goes a foot to the left, and I think he's got a lot of daylight.
2nd down and 8 from around the 26-yard line. Marvin in motion, almost falls down. Raiders reset. And they're going to give it to Marvin, and Marvin's got a lot of room. Marvin into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. And the Hudson Raiders have blown it open with 4:05 left to play in the game. 29-9. Christian Bell and company onto the field.
Christian Bell attempt the extra point. Johnny Ucatil to hold.
3 straight drives for the Hudson Raiders here in the second half have ended in a touchdown.
Well, maybe it just took a little time for this offensive line to gel together, but.
Kick is up, and it is good.
Wow.
And the Raiders lead it by 21 now.
I'd really like to watch Christian Bell practicing field goals, see how far out he can kick it from. That one went halfway across the track. That track starts about 30 yards behind the goalpost. So if that ball is spotted on what, about the 10?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
And he kicked one from 42?
Kicked one from 42 last week to end the first half.
Well, that one would have been good from all that.
So the Raiders now with some breathing room, 4:05 left to play. I'm guessing you may see some new faces in there on defense here on this drive. Nuh-uh.
No, I don't think so.
Secure the win.
I think this has been an ugly, ugly game, and you don't want anything to go awry now. I think you may see them more liberally substituting in some players, but I don't think you're going to see any wholesale changes.
Rasmussen and Fox back to receive the kickoff from Christian Bell.
Oh, nice boot by Bell. That'll go in and out of the end zone.
So a touchback from Christian Bell will put the Eau Claire Memorial offense at the 20-yard line here with 4:05 left to play, and the Raiders now holding a pretty secure lead at 30-9, and going to be a fun night for homecoming for the boys in blue.
You know, since that first drive of the second half, Hudson's offense has clicked. They've had some adversity. They've had some penalties, shot themselves in the foot a few times. They've been able to overcome it and scored on 3 straight drives.
Everhart will start from the shotgun. And they'll give it to Fox, and Fox will pick up around 2.
Tackled by Ryder and Zammy Schwartz. Zammy Schwartz, Dalton Marski as well again.
Second down and 7. Memorial doesn't appear to be in a big hurry here. Clock down to 3.5 to go. Everhart looking for an open man. Now he's just going to pull it in, and he'll take it out of bounds. So that will stop the clock. 3:25, and it's going to set up a 3rd down and around 2 for Eau Claire Memorial.
Holden Tim looked to be pretty well blocked on that play. Did a nice little spin move to get out, to get away from the blocker and got outside and forced Everhart to take that a little wider than he wanted to. And I think that's what kept him from getting the first down. The way that was set up, I thought for sure he was going to get the first down.
And they'll run it with Fox. And
oh, boy, he got a generous spot. It's going to give him the first down.
Looks like it's going to be just enough. 1st and 10 now for Eau Claire Memorial.
And that, you know, you got to be kidding me. They spotted the ball. The official comes in, grabs the ball, moved it just past the 30-yard line, so he got the first down. That's
3rd and 10, or 1st and 10. Everhart finds his man on the near side, looking for Craig Glassbrenner, and Glassbrenner picks up around 7 yards there in 1st down. Got out of bounds and stopped the clock at 2:58.
Well, Memorial can't continue to just get these little, 5-yard gains. They got to try going something deep here. They need to get a big chunky yardage. Ooh, the scoreboard just went out. They stop. Oh, now it's back up, back on now. I'm looking over to see how much time's left, and I'm like, also the scoreboard's blank. Officials stop the play to
get it straightened out. It looks like we're good to go here. Second and 3 for Memorial. Everhart, plenty of time in the pocket. Now he's going to roll out, and he gets rid of it. It's caught at midfield. Be 1st and 10 now coming up.
No, I think they're gonna say that was incomplete. He caught it out of bounds. He must have had his foot on the line.
So they'll back it up and make it 3rd down. And yes, the sticks moved. Did you notice that?
Yeah, well, look at now where they're spotting. They spotted a yard ahead of where it was.
Well, really, it's where it should have been because the guy with the sticks moved it back a yard. But it's actually, they got the ball where it's supposed to be now. 3rd down and 3. 2:37 to play. Everhart unloads, incomplete.
Okay. Well, and you got to go for it. I mean, it's.
Yep.
If you got any chance on winning this thing, you got to go for it now. And Everhart just not has been as crisp and with his passes here with the pressure on him and playing from behind that he was in the first half.
A lot of wobble on that football. 4th and 3 coming up. If the Raiders can get a stop here, this one's over. Two receivers, both sides of the line. Fox the lone setback with Everhart, and they're going to give it to Fox around the right side.
He's
and
not going to get
short. Jack Koski and company over there pulls down Sean Fox, short of the 1st down. And the Raider offense will come onto the field, and with 2:28, if they can get 1 first down, we're done. The Raider defense much maligned after last week's showing. They gave up 56 points to Rice Lake, and then tonight it wasn't looking real good, but they held Eau Claire Memorial to 9 points tonight.
Memorial did them a few huge favors in the first half there, but this second half has been pretty much Hudson's done a nice job. They gave up that one long drive, but held them to a field goal, which, that was huge. And now to hold them there on.
And Jordan Carranza.
Nigerian Nightmare. What was his? That one? God, I wish I could think of what his name was.
Did
he play for Cincinnati?
8 yards. Now, the Nigerian Nightmare was Christian Okoye.
Christian Okoye, Kansas City. There you go.
2nd and 2 now for Hudson.
He definitely runs downhill is what I like. Give the ball again, just
And it'll
go
be a
with what
first down.
works. And that should be a first down.
147 left. It was not Jordan Carranza wearing 22, but different player in there. But with 141 left, the Raiders can come out in victory
Yeah, I
formation.
think this is another one of them situations where we don't have his number on the
Yep.
scorecard.
They'll send Charlie Richards out there to knee this football, and it's all but over. Yeah, the Raiders are going to call this a game. 1:23 left, 1st and 10. Richards takes a knee. He'll have to do that a couple more times, and it'll be all over. So, again, a really shaky start. First half was ugly, but the Raiders got it done in the second half.
It was ugly, but you know what? You're not going to see that tomorrow in the box score. A win's a win. Raiders came out and did what they had to do. There's a lot of positives you can take out of this, and there's some negatives that you can coach them up on. So they still got some tough games ahead of them, though. River Falls is going to be no cupcake.
Travel to Chippewa next week, and they always play the Hudson Raiders tough. Even when the Raiders have been routing people, the Chippewa Falls Cardinals have put up some nice games against this Hudson Raider team, and you're going to get a challenge out of them next week. But heck of a win. Eau Claire Memorial has scored at least 21 points in each of their games this season, held to just 9 tonight. So you got to give an attaboy to that defense. And then the Hudson Raider offense looked real sluggish at times, but 3 straight touchdown drives to put this football game away.
That was the key from the end of the third quarter, or the middle of the third quarter, the middle of the fourth quarter. The Hudson offensive line really took over the game and really, made the plays when they had to. They had some great runs up the middle. They did Braden Marvin. We don't talk anywhere near enough about that guy. I mean, I'd like to see what the numbers are, but I got to believe he led this team in both receiving and rushing.
And that's one thing we saw last year, and of course we've seen it this year too. When he touches the ball, good things happen for the Hudson Raiders.
Yeah, it's just, and I don't see why they don't give him the ball more often, but
mix it up. They set him as the tailback in the eye for a nice run for a first down. So
he's got these little choppy steps, and it just doesn't look like he's going very fast, but he sure covers some ground. But the coaching staff has to be happy about this win because it was ugly, but a win's a win.
So the Hudson Raiders win at homecoming tonight, 30-9 over Eau Claire Memorial. Next week they're on the road at Chippewa Falls before closing out the home season at River Falls, and then, of course, the last game of the year at Eau Claire North. But the big thing is they get back to 2-2 in conference, so they're back at 500 in conference. They've got kind of the soft part of their schedule coming up. Things are happening. They should be fine. Just keep playing like we did in the second half of tonight, and we'll be just fine.
And I don't know what the prognosis is for, Motu or for Wilgren as far as getting back on the field. I know Motu's out with a concussion. He had a cut hand. The cut hand I don't think is that big a deal, but he's got to pass the concussion protocol to get back on the field. Wilgren, he's on crutches. Seen him out there, so I don't anticipate him being back next week, but you never know.
A lot of stuff going on, but the Hudson Raiders victorious tonight at homecoming. Congratulations to them. Have a good time this weekend. Don't have too good of a time. But the Raiders win it 30-9. For Joel Eby, I'm Chris Larson. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.